Hello, everyone. Welcome back. You're listening to the Liberal Conservative Podcast. In this episode, we travel back, way back, to ask the question few dare to ask out loud anymore. Where is Palestine? Today's episode, Gaza. Where is Palestine? So where is it? Where is the nation that we have now seen smashed and buried under rubble? To find the answer, we have to start long before October 7th, long before rockets and bombs. This land, the Levant, is one of the cradles of civilization, grooved by the footsteps of Homo erectus 1.5 million years ago. Caves of Natufan gatherers where early humans lived 11,000 years ago. Jericho, one of the oldest continuously inhabited places on earth. Before empires, there were olive groves, city-states like Jericho, like Hebrew Jerusalem, like Philistine Gaza, a mosaic of cultures, faiths, and languages. Empire after empire. This land was a chessboard cut through millennia, ruled by Egyptians, Assyrians, Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, and by 636 CE, Arab conquerors arrived. Islam spread, monasteries rose, pilgrims came. Under the Fatimids and the Seljuks, churches, mosques, and synagogues all coexisted peacefully. The Crusaders invaded in 1099, but Saladin reclaimed it. Then the Mamluks ruled from Cairo. Through all of this, it was Palestine, a patchwork of villages, towns, and communities. In 1516, Palestine became part of the Ottoman Empire. 4 centuries of relative peace. It was administered from Damascus, divided into Sanjaks, Jerusalem, Nablus, Acre, Gaza. Cities had populations of 5,000 to 6,000 in the 16th century. Life simmered quietly. Village farms in olive groves, cities with markets, travelers, craftsmanship. Women played roles in family, weaving, and local trade, though often invisible in official records. Now, if we shift into modern times, by the late 19th century, cities pulsed with activity. Jaffa, a citrus and port hub. Haifa, Beirut's quieter sister. Acre, city of pilgrims. Across 850 villages, people farmed olives and wheat, sold herbs, built marriages under mosque arches. Women began forming civic associations in cities like Jerusalem in the 1920s, demanding education, influence, and representation. And then the West and the British arrive. And so does Zionism. The Zionists start taking root after the Ottoman rule ended, after World War I. Britain took over under the British mandate. They brought a Balfour Declaration promising a Jewish homeland, but Palestinians were never asked. Meanwhile, Zionist immigration came very slowly and in waves. First, Aliyah in 1881, second in 1904 through 1914, brought in European Jews. From 25,000 in 1881 to over 200,000 by 1947, rural land was sold, cities shifted, and tensions rose. After the Holocaust, the West had blood on its hands. They had turned away Jewish refugees during the war, so instead, they supported the colonization of Palestine. They knew the land was lived in, fertile. They spoke languages, built homes, and still said, "Let's build a home here. Jackhammer them out." Then came the Nakba, which stands for the catastrophe. The Nakba was the catalyst. They call it the War of Independence. We can really call it the catastrophe. Over 750,000 Palestinians were expelled from their homes, not in battle, by design. Villages were bombed, emptied, bulldozed. Militias like the Haganah, the Irgun, and the Lehi carried out Plan D, a plan to expel Palestinians by force. Deir Yazin wasn't a battlefield. It was a massacre. Pregnant women were dismembered. Children were slaughtered, and villages were burned. Does that sound familiar? Gaza was born and was a prison from birth. The people were driven out in 1948. Many ended up in Gaza. It became a trauma wound wrapped in a barbed wire. Today, over 2.3 million people live in a 140 square foot mile section known as Gaza. There's no army, no airport, no freedom, just drones, overhead snipers. At the fence, bombs on schedule. And when Israel says they withdrew in 2005, they're lying. You can't leave a cage and still hold the keys. October 7th was in fact a horrific event. But how did one of the most heavily guarded borders on earth just collapse? Israeli intelligence agencies warned the government a year in advance of the coming nightmare. So did the Egyptian intelligence, and they were ignored. On purpose, maybe. Maybe this was the pretext the extremist coalition needed. Hours after the attack, Israel launched its largest bombing campaign, almost like it was ready. Itamar Ben-Gvir lives in a West Bank settlement with his wife and 6 children. Bezalel Smotrich, the finance minister who wants to erase Palestinian villages, also lives in a settlement. Netanyahu's family living in safety, bouncing between Jerusalem and protected residences, also has a bunker. These men are not in Gaza. They are not starving. Actually, some of them are fat. They are not grieving, but they are deciding who dies. So where is Palestine? Palestine was real. It still is. It lives in the heart of every Palestinian. It lives in the heart of every Gazan. It lives in the grave that is now Gaza. It's in every grandmother's key to a house bulldozed 75 years ago. It's in every olive tree chopped down, in every child who draws the flag their parents never got to raise. And it's in the mouths of people who dare to say the word Palestine in countries that tried to ban it. If you're still asking where Palestine is, all you have to do is look again. It's in our silence. It's in our funding. And unless we fight for it, it'll be in our history books. Or not. It could possibly be in our history books as a place that once was, but never got to be. You don't have to agree with every chant. You don't have to like every protest. But if you see thousands of dead children, a forced famine, and ethnic cleansing on live TV and social media, and you still say both sides, that's what the point of your freedom is, your feminism, your flag. Where is Palestine? It's buried beneath rubble, waiting for you to stop pretending you didn't see it. If this episode moved you, pissed you off, or opened your eyes, share it. Tag us, the Liberal Conservative Podcast, and help break the silence. There are many places that you can donate to help Gazans, to help them with their food, to help displaced Gazans. And there's many protests all over the world happening almost every week against the imperialistic governments that are knowingly feeding this genocide.